Hi, welcome to our lesson today in Life Sciences. Today we're going to be looking at our first lesson on the circulatory system, and that is specifically for our grade 10s and 11s. We're then going to move over to grade 12 work, but grade 12's, the work on the circulatory system is so important. The work that we're going to look at for you today is on the endocrine system, the system of hormones, which of course are transported in the blood. So our lessons today make sense if you sit down now and relax for the next hour and watch everything, because everything is linked up and tied together. So we're going to start off looking today at the circulatory system. A characteristic of our own circulatory system and that of other mammals is that the blood goes through the heart twice to get back to the same place. Now, what do I mean by that? If you were a little blood cell that at the moment is at the tip of your finger, you would need to go through the heart once, and then you're going to get pumped off to the lungs to drop off your carbon dioxide and to pick up oxygen. You're then going to come back to the heart and go through the heart a second time before you're going to get pumped out to the rest of the body. And it's going to be quite random as to whether you end up back in the finger or maybe in your big toe or going to your head or possibly even going to your kidneys. The blood cells then get pumped to wherever they happen to flow to in the body. But it's important to remember that we have what is called a double circulatory system. It has two parts to it, a pulmonary circulatory system and a systemic circulatory system. So what do we mean by those two words? Well, systemic circulation means that circulation is going to go to the systems of your body. The blood is going to be pumped, for example, to your digestive system, to your excretory system, to the systems of skeletal muscles in your arms and legs. It's going to go to your brain. That is what we mean by systemic circulation, blood that is pumped to the systems or different parts of the body. But before that blood can be pumped to the body, it has to go to the lungs. It's like a taxi, I suppose. You can't go and do all of your business and pick up passengers and go and drop them off until you've filled your taxi up with petrol. And what is vitally important with the blood is that it offloads carbon dioxide and it uploads oxygen. And that all happens in the lungs. And so the blood has to, before it goes to the systems, it has to upload oxygen, offload carbon dioxide, and its circulatory pathway to and from the lungs is known as the pulmonary circulatory system. And so here we have a little diagram. It's a schematic diagram. It's not meant to show things realistically. It simply shows pathways. The blue pathway shows the pulmonary circulatory system. If we have this here representing the heart, we see that blood is pumped out of the heart along the pulmonary circulatory system to the lungs, through the lungs, back into the heart. That is the pulmonary circulatory system. The systemic circulatory system, the blood flows from the heart. It's going to flow all the way around the body. It's going to flow then back to the heart. Before that blood can be pumped back to the body, of course, it must go to the lungs. And so the blood alternates between flowing to the lungs, flowing to the body, back to the heart, flowing out to the lungs, back to the heart, then to the body. And this is why the human circulatory system is known as double circulatory system. This picture shows a little more detail that previous schematic diagram, and we see that what might look fairly complex is actually pretty simple, but we will look into this circulatory flow in a lot more detail next week. But simply, blood comes into the heart and you'll notice that it flows in the top of the heart. The top of the heart pumps it to the bottom right-hand side of the heart. It then flows out of the right-hand side of the heart to the lungs, and it's random as to whether it goes to the left-hand lung or to the right-hand lung. Once the blood has offloaded its carbon dioxide, it then picks up oxygen and flows back into the heart. This oxygenated blood is passed then to the bottom chamber of the heart and then out to either the head and the arms or to the lower parts of the body, the systems, like as we mentioned earlier, digestive system, reproductive system, and so on, and then back to the heart. If you can draw this diagram and if you can understand how this system works, you understand double circulatory systems. After the break, we're going to look at these vessels, arteries, veins, and capillaries that transport the blood. I'll see you then.